Sure. Here's Abraham's message. They say you can't fix people who are broken. Oh well, this is a different quote. It's about a different thing, but it's still good. Um, you can't fix people who are broken because when you see them as broken, you come right out of the vortex. This certainly applies, and now you've got no fixing power. When you come into alignment with who you are, those ready for it find you. So that's our work, as you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're trying to be the light that people are looking for. Be the light that helps others to see. Is my
by
work.
seeing them as broken, we're already in a duality that isn't going to help them.
Yeah, but that's true. But again, it's like, my minister from Los Angeles, Michael Beckwith, would say, look at the news so you know what your prayer assignment is for the day. See,
that's interesting, because I very much teach, that if you're struggling with the world's a bad place, and you're struggling with all those thoughts, disconnect from the news for a year, 2 years. Go and do your work. But at some point, you've got to re-engage.
Yeah, exactly. It's about balance. I agree with you. So it's like, okay, that's the situation as I'm able to perceive it. That's my deepest understanding at the moment. Now, what would I, as a spiritual being, like to do with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what would I ask Almighty God to help me to co-create about all of that?
Let's talk about balance a little bit more, because to me, everything is balance, about becoming a complete person. The more complete you are on every subject, right the way around, it's about balance. It's not about getting rid of any one feeling. It's not about getting rid of dismissing. Get in a bubble. People, I hear this a lot. Put yourself in a bubble. Let no one near and all that.
Right.
You can. You got to drive a car. There's other people on the road.
Sure. Yes, as Abraham's, that's right, my friend. You're guaranteed more contrast. So, but I love what you're saying. I was thinking of this morning, honestly, Stephen. I was just, I have the house to myself today. My housemate's up north. Just so grateful for all the blessings in my life, including your lovely self. Just counting all my blessings, giving thanks, enjoying my cup of coffee, peace and quiet. Nobody needed anything from me. I didn't need to take care of anyone. It's like, okay. Woo. And I was thinking, and yes, my guides say balance is boundaries, as you're saying. And that the way that we're here really in pursuit of wholeness, and to be holy is to become whole. So I absolutely agree with you. Dance with the contrast. Don't get lost in the drama. This is the work for all of us. Yeah. Be discerning and discriminating. What can I take from this? What can I give to this? What can I do about this, if anything? And then keep coming back to, I'm in balance within myself. I'm in my good place, as Abraham says here.
Yeah.
Can I give you one more quote?
Absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful. There's a lovely young lady I've just found on Facebook. She's Asian. She lives in Kansas City, Missouri, where I lived for about a year, in the States, in Missouri. And her name is Nyan Dougherty. And she's giving the quote here from another hero of mine, Pierre Teilhard de Chardin, who is the man who said the quote, "You are a spiritual being having a human experience." And this is her quote of his. She says, "There is an almost sensual longing for communion with others who have a large vision, the immense fulfillment of the friendship between those engaged in furthering the evolution of consciousness has a quality impossible to describe."
Absolutely.
Isn't that gorgeous?
We grow together, my friend. We really do.
Yes, that's right.
And it's important that we have the space to allow that growth, though.
That's a good word.
We often come across people, but we're so full of ourselves that there's no room for that other person's wisdom to ever penetrate anywhere. No room for them to fit it in.
That's right. It's just going to bounce off.
Yeah. We don't need that. We're all all complete.
Oh, yeah. Yes. This is it.
Looking for completeness. That's why we look for external love, other people. You know,
Mm.
you
Hmm.
can't leave me because a bit of me's missing. You complete me.
Right. Right. That you've nailed it once again, my friend. That is the great illusion that keeps all of us feeling lost in ourselves and in the world, isn't it?
I just love what Rumi said. We're just a drop going over a waterfall.
That's a better way to put it. You know, I mean, I think for those of us that are on the spiritual journey and privileged and honored and blessed to be on this journey here, and that we have time and space to go within in our lives, where most people quite often have too many duties and responsibilities and
Yeah.
obligations to take that time. You know, it is really truly a powerful gift when we can feel that peace within and come back into balance and not feel overwhelmed or frightened or anxious or worried, and you know, really try to marinate, you know, in that all is well and I'm okay and this is going to work out and there's a higher purpose to all of it.
Yeah. I love that marinate, you know, with the feelings, you know. It's always nice to ask questions internally. You know, what am I thinking? What am I feeling? What
Right.
is causing this at the moment, you know? And then
Yeah.
allow it to marinate, allow it to come up, allow it to...
Yeah.
And when we just allow it, we realize that it's just information.
Yes.
Just information that's telling us something. Answer the call.
Yes, that's right. That's right. My guides give me a little 3-step for that that you've just shared there. There's information, there's inspiration, and there's transformation. And we want to find the information that leads us to inspiration, find the inspiration that leads us to transformation. That's the search.
Yeah.
And we know we're on it when our hearts are opening.
That's the best thing we can do with the Inner Peace Tribe is post everything that fits one of those 3 things.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
might be the good tagline for it.
Sure.
Information, inspiration, transformation.
Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Because it's very similar to what the Buddha's saying about rain, isn't it? It's like, look into it. What's going on? I can't remember what the rain stands for now, but but yeah, it's similar. And very often we look for other people to. it's mental of us. We look for other people to give us the information to why we're feeling like we are.
Yes. So
Help
we can
me.
stop
I'm
feeling that
feeling
way.
sad. Help me. Well, we
Right.
don't even know ourselves yet. We want this external person
Right.
that hasn't had our experiences, that hasn't had our life, that hasn't even been through what we've just been through. Yet we
Right.
want their wisdom to tell us why we're feeling like we are.
Right. Right. That's well said. That's well said, Stephen. And you know, because you work with people one-on-one, you know, the best we can do is try to be a clean mirror for people to go deeper into themselves and find their own answers and their own truth.
And what's interesting is whenever I go deeper, if I'm feeling sad, it took me a while to get over my ego to do this. When I'm
Every
feeling
day.
sad, I'll sit there and be sad, be lonely, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And sometimes I'll even use music to get more into it.
Oh, better and better.
And then when you go into it, you look below it and you realize what you think you're sad about is very rarely the case.
That's right. That's right.
And this is what I say to clients all the time. Look deeper, look deeper.
That's
Everything you
that's
find,
right.
put it in a box, move it to the side, but don't get rid of it. Then look.
Yeah. Yes, that's right. That's well said. And you see, of course, because you have that experience of making the inner journey every day, you know, you understand, as I do, that there are levels and layers to everything. The Course in Miracles says, I'm never upset for the reason I think.
No, yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Never upset
you
for
see?
the reason, I think. Yeah.
Right. Because if I'm upset, that's the signal that I'm in my fearful mind, my limited thinking mind, And the what I'm looking for, as you said so beautifully a little bit ago, is, you know, we all come from this concept that we're incomplete or searching for something or someone, and that our happiness is outside of ourselves. And, you know, making that journey back into peace through the emotions of upset and sadness and whatever's there, says it's okay. My feelings are okay. I accept myself with my feelings. You let me come back to peace, and then think about this.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's not happiness that we want. We just think happiness will lead to what we truly want. And what we truly want is to feel good. We just don't like feeling bad. We have this evasion of feeling bad. And it stems from being a child. You know, when in the first week of life, who are you? What's your face? You know, who are you in that first week? Well, you're a human that's looking for safety, comfort, the basic things that we spend the rest of our life looking for externally.
Right. Until we have either the breakthrough or the crisis that motivates the breakthrough. You know, everyone comes to the church door on their knees is my analogy of that. Yeah. Which then finally gets our attention to get outside of the thinking mind and to really begin to work with our loving heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, we don't develop this
language,
this thinking language, for at least another 6 to 8 months. I think you're froze for a moment.
Okay.
Oh, you're back.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just going to say the phrase that my guides teach me a lot these days is be willing to give to yourself love, kindness, compassion, time, attention, what you're wanting, asking for life to give to you. And this is really the theme of this time, is to live from the inside out, not just the outside in.
Yeah. See, that willing to love ourselves is something we all work on. And that's something I thought I had sussed. I gotta be honest, I thought I've sussed this.
Oh yeah.
Okay, it comes and goes. Nothing's sussed and then there forever. It comes and goes.
Yes.
Every
Yes.
second. It's not even a few hour thing. But the missing part that I wasn't completing is the witness, or the silent witness, or whatever you want to call it, the self, wasn't open to receiving that love from the ego. So the ego was trying to love me. The ego was like, I love you, Stevie. You're cool. You're great. You're all these other things. But then the self was like, yeah, I'm not just believing you, and I'm not ready to receive it yet. And it was incongruent, and it just wasn't complete.
Yes. Yes. That's very good.
And it's subtle. It's so subtle.
Yes. Well, that's brilliant. Here's the way I respond to what you've just said, which is really very deep. Until I begin to realize that I am the witness of my ego, as you just said so beautifully, then I think I am my ego, not the witness of my ego, right? And I keep identifying with I, me, mine, you know, and thinking this is me. I'm a body, I'm a mind, I'm a collection of needs and wants, etc. And like you said about the infant self, which is a beautiful thing to meditate on, what we're here to do as human beings on one level is to meet our needs. And my guides say our needs are safety, love, and support. And so if I can meet those things on my own, then I'm independent. But if I need other people, then I'm interdependent. And so the ego has its own agenda of all of that. But thankfully, your soul, your spirit, your higher self has no problem in transcending the illusions of separation of the ego. But I have to be willing to open to that wisdom, that inspiration. That's what inspiration is. Inspiration is, here's the information. That's not the answer. That's the question. Inspiration says, there is an answer to that question. Let me sit with that vibration of openness and possibility and trust, and then see what comes forth in response to that.
That's the thing, is trust in the process, trusting the ego. Thank God we learned to go to sleep as children, as kids, babies. Because if you were to say to the ego at 17 years old, right, now we're going to go sleep, it wouldn't let go. The ego's control. I need to control this situation.
Right.
But it's incredible. If you want real control, separate yourself from the ego. And,
that's right. That's right.
have the healthy control of the ego.
Right.
That's the man at the end of the bar drinking the whiskey when the fight's happening.
Right.
And he just carries on drinking his whiskey. That's, the shade, you're the tree when it's too hot for everybody else.
Yes, that's well said. That's discernment and detachment.
Yeah.
You see,
and you said about interdependency.
Yeah.
That's when we become more complete. Is I'm independent for my basic needs as a human, but I'm interdependent to be understanding and compassionate and to bring about more of this in the world, more wisdom, and to help spread the word.
Yes.
We are interdependent for that kind of thing to show up.
Yes, that's right.
But waking up, we're independent, and we have to be.
Well, yeah, that's well said, my friend. I believe it's a constant dance between self and others, and that's it. As you and I know, that when you really want to seek and create and invite meaning in your life, then you start to look for opportunities to serve and to give and to love and to inspire and to help. And then you start to understand, or the resources through you help you start to understand you're more than this. Yeah. And then you come back to yourself with that, oh, I am a good person. I can make a difference. I do have help. I do have guidance. What I do matters to other people, not just to myself.
Yeah. And then the great doubt sets in once again, and then we work on it again and work on it again, which is a brilliant protection mechanism for grandeur.
Yes, all true power is tempered by humility.
And it has to be.
Yes, because that's where it doesn't come from us. It comes from Almighty God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the wise people know that, and the arrogant people forget that. And we can all be both, 1 minute one, 1 minute the next.
I've yet to meet a wise person that isn't full of doubt at times.
Well, yeah, humility is a willingness to keep, like you do, as you've learned in a spiritual practice, both of us in our own way, and everyone who's on this journey is looking for that inspiration and example. If we keep asking ourselves these wonderful and important questions, who am I? What do I believe? What are my values? How committed am I? How successfully am I expressing this? How could I do this differently? The phrase goes, you get answers to the questions you ask, and that's a great process every day to be going, all right, I'm available for this. What do I need to know today to help this to happen?
It's why Plato said all the wisdom is in the question, because the answers will change. The wisdom
Absolutely.
is asking the questions.
That's right. When I've sat with the spirit guide, Dr. Peebles, at other channelings, and my dear friend Natalie would be the channel I think of, and she would say, look, folks, it matters exactly what question you ask, because they are not going to overinterpret your question. They will answer the question you ask. So there's a world of difference between Dr. Peebles, how am I doing, versus Dr. Peebles, what do I need to know at this point on my journey? Night and day.
It reminds me of two stories from... There's one story I heard about. There was a court case in Cornwall about 120 years ago.
Okay.
And it was one of the first car accidents, and the guy came around the corner and went straight into a wall.
Oh.
And the court case was so riding on whether the guy was holding the lantern up. and the guy in the court turned around and said, so you were holding... Yeah, I was waving it, furiously. I was like... And on the way out of the court, the guy holding the lantern said, thank God he didn't ask me whether it was lit or not.
Right, right,
And
right.
that's exactly the same thing. And, you know, when I had my court case about my broken neck
Okay,
with Truro School,
okay,
we were asking them to be slightly liable. You know, not entirely.
all right.
I'd done a dumb thing, but they also, with a heated, lit up pool that they knew people were using at night, take some responsibility. But their lawyer kept asking me, did you ever jump in the water and like spring off the bottom with your feet? And I said, well, not that I remember.
Yeah,
And he kept asking me, and he said, look, I swear you're under oath. And I said, look, seriously, not that I remember.
yeah,
And he
yeah.
asked me about 5 times. I said, look, I'll answer your question. Yes, in many pools. But you asked me specifically,
Right.
in this pool, do you ever
Yeah.
remember doing it?
Yes.
And I'm answering your question truthfully
Yes.
and honestly.
Yeah. Sure.
And the judge turned around and said, no, look, Stephen's answered you.
Yeah.
You know, I knew what he wanted me to say.
Of course.
You know, he wanted me to know how deep it was and things like that. And
Yeah.
he should have asked me if I dived into the pool on the same way, because I had all eaten.
Okay.
Which would
Okay.
have established
Right. I hear you. I hear
but
you.
the power is in the question. It really is.
Sure. So were there no lights in the pool? Was that part of the?
No, it was lit up. It was heated. It was a
Yeah.
summer evening.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for years. I've been doing it all summer
Right.
that summer.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you got 15 to 18-year-old kids.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot to do at that age.
Sure.
Very
Sure.
similar to now.
Right.
And externally outside, I mean.
Right.
And you have a pool that you can walk across the field and just jump down the wall. We didn't even have to climb over the wall. And
I
it
see.
was heated and lit up.
Yeah. Sure.
What
Great.
kids are not going to go swimming there?
Right. Right. So your argument was there should have been a fence or something like that?
Well, our argument was, it's in the UK we have a law that, because trespassing is not illegal, it's a
Right.
civil case. It's a civil.
Okay. Okay.
Because on the very first day of the court case, they kept bringing up the trespass, and the judge said, "Look, are you going to sue Stephen for trespass privately?" And they
Yeah.
said, "Well, no." He said, "Well, I don't want to hear the word trespass again."
Yeah.
In the UK, we have a law that states that someone might wander onto your garden or onto your area. It's still up to you to keep it relatively safe. I.e., don't put traps out. Don't put, you know.
Yes.
But
Sure.
they cannot
Sure.
rule on a specific company or thing. So they basically ruled for British Rail to keep all their lines safe just in case someone wanders onto them.
Okay.
It was up to British Rail to put the fences and wasn't up to the people to.
Yeah. Not walk across the rail.
So we were fighting on that law, basically saying, look, they knew people were there. They knew youngsters were there.
Yeah.
They had a swimming pool that was opening and inviting. They should have took some responsibility for the accident.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was an 18-year-old lad. To
Yeah.
say that I knew what could happen is mind-blowing.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Would
sure.
I have dived in the wall thinking I could end up like this?
No.
But
Never.
well, of course, that's what the defense was.
Sure. Sure.
He knew what he was getting himself into.
Right.
Okay.
So what finally happened?
Well,
how did that?
the judge writ a really, I lost, but the
Okay.
judge writ a really nice case. He did leave it slightly open to go to the European Court, but he really summed it up, and he really sung my praises. And he said if he could have, under the law, won something for me, he would have done. But he has to read the law the way it is.
Sure. Of course. Yeah.
It was really nice, actually. The judge saying I was a very intelligent, very wise person, and
Oh, nice.
he wishes
Yeah.
me well in future. I was like 21 by the time that. And I
Right.
had a choice at that point. I sat in the room with two barristers and a solicitor. And they said,
Right.
look, we can take it to the European Court. It'll take probably about 10 years.
Really.
It will take
Seriously?
a while. This is a big case. And the problem is, it wasn't just my case. There was a lot of precedents set on it.
Uh huh.
If I win, it opens the door for a lot of people that step inside of someone's garden and falls over.
Yeah.
Albeit they cannot rule against it. Because of that, it would have major consequences.
Yeah.
So I chose at that point to get on with my life.
Right. Good choice.
It would have meant I didn't have the 2 or 3 million payout. It would have meant, but it freed me from this court case of duality, me against them.
Sure. Yeah. That's big.
And I won that day.
Right.
Now, I won my freedom from bitterness, from, I realized.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I hear you. Well, that's very powerful.
I wouldn't want to spend the rest of my life fighting.
Exactly. No, I think that was a brave and the right choice, honestly,
Plus, it would have took years off my life.
Well, no, this is it. I mean, because as you said, that would literally be it. You would have spent the years of your life fighting rather than getting on with living, and making your peace and, adjusting to this gigantic change and trying to find your positive meaning, in your life, which clearly you've done, powerfully and beautifully, and you've inspired many people, myself included. So thank you for making that wise choice.
Do you know what, though? I get in the back of the van, I go somewhere, I drive down the hill in my chair, I sit in a council meeting, whatever I do, and I take a breath, I feel into my heart, and just love being witness to all of this, because everything is a miracle, everything is magic.
That's right.
Everything is history.
That's right.
And to be able to witness it.
Yeah.
To me, there's nothing more amazing than just to be able to sit there and go, holy fuck, look, feel, listen.
Yeah.
My dog goes for a wee every 10 feet. He has no idea a star is shining.
Right. Yeah. No, that's beautifully said, man. If you
want to win the lottery, wake up.
Yeah. Appreciate what you have, because it's not nothing, and it's gone in a minute, so take nothing and no one for granted. That's one of my favorite affirmations.
It lasts about 3 seconds and I go back to what's going on in the council meeting.
Sure. Complaining and hungry and itching where you can't scratch and all that good fun. Yeah.
I always love saying that, life is like a stick, We've all got this stick. One end is what we don't like and one end is what we really love.
Yeah.
And we keep chopping off the bad end because we don't want it. And the stick becomes so short that we can't tell the difference anymore.
Yeah.
We're no longer dancing between the two ends of the stick. We've just got a stick with two ends that are so close that we don't even know what's going on anymore.
That's right. Exactly. Beautifully said. The mind sees contrast and conflict, and the heart is just looking for unity. Yeah. And the mind is complicated and confusing and overwhelming, and the heart is just simple. So we need to take all this and bring it down here and make sense of it, and then come back out here and go, I think I understand again. Yeah. And follow that inspiration.
It is, those Ken Show moments when we just, wow. I can't remember, is it Gideon and that Carol Gilligan, I can't remember. Explained it as when we have these moments of waking up. Are you still there or are you frozen?
No, I'm here. I hear you.
And it's like sitting in a room with what we think is a snake in the corner.
Yes.
And we're sitting there and we're worried about the snake and it's been there for years. And then someone comes in and just turns a light on. Or we turn the light on and we see it's a coiled spring.
Right.
No matter how many times you turn that light back off, you no longer see the snake.
Right. That's right. That's well said. Yeah. That's well said. That's beautiful. The way I put it is once the door of your heart opens, it never closes so tightly again.
No.
You know, and the work is every day. Can I keep opening it up? Can I keep opening it up? Can I keep opening it up? Because that's where the magic, the miracles, the inspiration, the creation, the creativity, that's where all that comes
And that's
from.
where the real strength is.
That's right. That's
If
exactly
you can
right.
hold your heart open to the enemy that is trying to take you out, trying to take you down, trying to descend upon you, and you can hold your heart open and go, it's because he cares.
Yes.
It might
Yes.
not be about the same thing, but because he cares.
Right. As my guides say, what is this trying to teach me about love?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It's a brilliant question.
Yeah, it's very helpful, very
It
centering.
is.
Wonderful.
And of course, as we grow, as we open, the love changes. You know, what
Yeah.
I understood to be love at 18, the egoic puppy love.
Yeah.
I wanted to eat the first chocolate like I did, you know, at 12 years old. A girl comes along and likes you, and it's like eating chocolate for the first time ever.
Yeah.
We spend the rest of our life eating all the chocolates,
Right. Right. Yeah.
trying to taste that first one. That's
Sure.
egoic love. That's egoic love. And at some
Right.
point, you don't even need the chocolates. You just need to take a deep breath. And
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, again, it's like it's complicated, but it's simple. You know, it's always the truth is always a paradox. Krishnamurti said, "The truth is a pathless land. There's no way to get there. You're either there or you're not there." You see, and it's that constant, like, am I open to it? Am I in the flow, or is it outside of me now? And I'm not enough, and there isn't enough again.
the Zen gateless gate.
Yes.
There's clearly
Very
a gate, and then
Right.
there clearly wasn't.
Right. What's the sound of one hand clapping? Yes, all that. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Alan Watts always says, it's like trying to bite your own teeth.
That's good. That's very good. Yeah. Yeah. Inspiration always lifts us up. This is my experience.
Yeah.
You know, but I like what you said earlier, my friend. Particularly to listen to some moving music in order to feel the sadness sometimes, and to be with ourselves. You know, this is. I channeled a quote this week I was very happy with from my guides. They said, you can't, until you acknowledge it, you can't move past it. And until you feel it, you can't let it go. And it's kind of like that, you know, we're denial and the ego and judgment and fear, resistance, all that. It tries to, you know, say that's someone else's problem, or that's not my responsibility, or it's not important to me. But the heart is always saying yes, no. And so once we feel what's really going on inside, then we come back to being centered again, and then we can make healthy choices from that place. But
Yeah.
it takes time to let go of that confusion.
And it does. And we have to start with some kind of practice. We've had a practice for years of doing the opposite.
That's right. We get better at what we practice.
Yeah. Either way.
That's right. Good or bad. So decide what you want to commit to getting better about. Yeah.
I think it was Engo in the States that said to me, it's all about when you're playing drums with the drumsticks, don't hold them so firm that the music is crap.
It's good.
Don't hold them so loose that you drop them.
Well, that's right. It's like
it has to go through you.
Exactly. Beautifully said. As I play guitar, and so the string has to be not too tight and not too loose.
Yeah.
You know.
And you have to be the same with it.
Exactly.
You know.
Well, that's what music is good for.
Yeah.
Tuning
and the
us.
music, I don't play any musical instrument, so
Okay.
You'll probably enlighten me with this. But there's like the music kind of comes through us as opposed to us thinking it and it happens.
That's right. Yeah.
You know, we feel the music and you can tell when someone else, lots of people, what I do find with I've never done this. I cannot remember ever doing it. But a lot of people use music to change their mood.
Sure. Sure.
Which is kind of okay. But if you're feeling down, have the music that will reflect that to enable you to be that, as opposed to trying to get out of that vibration by changing something externally like music. If you're feeling really down, you cannot put on hip-hop songs.
Right.
Showing how much I know about music now.
Yeah, I know you're okay.
To change your vibration because it just doesn't work.
Well, it doesn't last.
No.
Okay, it can work for a little while. Yeah, that's the paradox of this one. That it's really powerful. But yes, I mean, music. Whenever when I'm doing a reading for someone or for myself, when the music card comes up in my deck, I know that is the signal for passion, as you're saying, and because it comes through us and it lifts us up. But sometimes we need to just be willing to give ourselves completely to our feelings, to our passions, in order to find the clarity to lift ourselves up.
So if we're putting this up online, where can they get hold of you? Where can they find you, Lou?
Well, on my Facebook page or my homepage, which is loumartin.eu. Either of those work great. I'm still in the process, as I've said, we talked a few weeks ago, of making a new website, so that's still on my agenda. I've got 10 days with my housemate, then he's overseas for 6 weeks, so that makes life a little easier for me when I'm here and have that space to myself. That sometimes he needs help from me and things like this. So yeah, that's I'm like you, as you said, I'm hoping to get back to that. I've had, honestly, the last couple of weeks have been really great. And again, Stephen, I want to say from my heart to yours, thank you, because I know you've helped that to, you've been a part of that, if not the biggest part of that. So thank you so much.
Continue to be part of it. As soon as
okay,
I'm
then.
Facebook gel.
Okay, good. I'm glad to be on the journey with you, brother. Yeah,
I'm enjoying the time out they've gave me. What a gift.
You're a philosopher. I bow my knee to. Absolutely. Yeah. Well done.
Well, they can get hold of me on stephenwebb.com. Head over there and download my book, How to Create Your Own Inner Peace.
Right.
But thanks, Lou. I just love these discussions.
My pleasure, Stephen. Likewise. All my love, brother.